Good afternoon, everybody. I will not repeat the protocols, but I think I'd like to first of all thank the Chief Happiness Officer, Dr. Gilbert Kiprono, for this honor, inviting us to come and celebrate a very unique event. Not the usual ones we know about, but somewhere to be happy. You know, when I was coming here, I was saying to somebody, I'm going for the International Happiness Day of Happiness. And the person said, what to be happy about what? I said, exactly, I want to be happy. So thank you very much for this honor. I'm also happy to be among friends today, Dr. Asike, Mr. Mutungi, and most of the people around here. And as Nation Media Group, we're also happy to be here because we believe that beyond the normal things we do, covering political activity, economic activity, social activity, let's have a unique event to also make Kenyans understand, as Dr. Kiprono said, that it's not all doom. We have to find our place to be happy. Let's go. So today, just speaking as someone who's been in leadership for so long and was navigated very many environments, I'm happy to note that today's discussion is around workplace happiness. You're right, Governor. We spend most of our time in the office. We spend most of our time with our colleagues. If you're in top positions, you also spend just about 6 hours at home. Now, if you don't have that peace in the office, if you don't have that work environment in the office that suffices, then issues set in. And finding a happy place is so important. Employees carry a lot of challenges today. We have family we have to deal with. We have pressures in the office. We have ambitions. Dr. you're talking about helicopter. Please allow me to aim for it. Let me aim for the helicopter. I've never ridden in one, but please, wasiki atatupatia loan. And we have silent personal struggles. And all these tend to eat you up. And you don't realize that there's only one allowed to use a certain door. So I asked my colleagues, why is this door not being used by the rest? I said, we don't know. So I told them to try and use it. So when they crossed, they didn't collapse. But the next day, they still went back. They didn't use it again. Culture and practice is a big issue. We must reframe productivity. Productivity is something that leaders cannot demand. You can demand productivity, I agree. But it has to be self-driven. If I tell you this is your assignment, I want it by 5 o'clock, will it be done well? It has to be self-driven. High-performing teams are driven by pride, not pressure. They're driven by belief, not obligation. And happiness is a thriving factor for better performance. We're in a constant world of change. Organizations are transforming rapidly, digitally, and evolving in roles. We have financial pressures. We have family responsibilities and personal transitions. And employees are expected to perform amid uncertainty and change. And leaders must acknowledge this duality. So the world is in a constant change. I mean, we're not static anymore. There's a lot happening. I was sitting next to Trophy, and I really like your name, Trophy. And we were looking at the leader, at the colleagues in the office. Who is the worst colleague you can have? Who is the worst? Is it there was a credit thief? The silent saboteur. Ule anakuona tu, anasema, she agrees with you all the time, lakini uko nyuma anakuchi. You get it? So you have to be very careful. We're in a world that is constantly a change. I think I saw in your book, which I was saying, which says that don't trust anybody. Yeah, you can do. But I think organizations should note that they're transforming. When we experienced COVID, I was one of the biggest skeptics that nobody can work at home. I struggled to even effect that policy because I was saying, how will I know you're working at home? You know? Until I got COVID myself. And I realized I have to work at home. However, when I was working at home and talking to somebody, you can hear mjengos, you can hear things. But what we realized, productivity was actually better when people had certain work-life balances. And we never went back 100% to full-time work. We introduced 1 day off or 2 day work at home. And I think that's what I did at the Nation, my colleagues. They work at home. Even my driver works at home. I asked him, what do you do? That's the day I read the manual, I read how to learn, I read where the places are, I read the atlas. I said, it's okay. There's been a leadership shift from control to presence. Leadership today is not about control. It's more about how you show up. And there are certain questions that are asked. Are you a present leader or a distant leader? Do you lead with authority or empathy? Do people fear you or trust you? Which one do you think works? When I walk in and everybody scatters, or when I walk in, people are driven towards me? You just said it right now. Who said it that when you walk in, people start opening their drawers and taking Panadol? I grew up in that terror leadership. I grew up there. But today, you need empathy. You need people to drive, to have a magnetic attachment with you. As you walk in, they want to find out how your day is. There's no barrier. They know you're the boss, yes, but at the end of the day, there's a connection because everybody has something to say. And it's important to make people feel that they're very, very respected. There's humanity in leadership. Leaders cannot control everything in business, but they can control using their presence, their tone, their empathy, and authentic leadership builds trust and resilience. I'll be really delighted to hear what Osika is doing in Isuzu. In fact, Governor, when you're asking me what I'm asking him, I'll ask him, can I hire him? and come and transform us? But that's what we look at. And recently somebody wrote about humanized leadership. And I think this is the challenge of the way forward. I mean, in this era of the Gen Z and the Gen Alphas, and I don't know which is that one which is coming now, you will not be able to get output by terror. They are different. Their attention span is this much. They want to do everything digitally this much. They want to be paid. They want payment increases every so often. One even told me, if you don't increase my pay, can I resign? I said, no, he resigned. They are very impatient. So we have to transform ourselves as leaders to recognize that the world is changing and we need to actually be able to bring this kind of leaders. Transformation insights include, how do we transform ourselves? We must start listening more. We must start engaging more. We must start being intentional about employee experiences. Open those windows. Listen to what they call the river. Listen to the form transmission teams down there to enable to drive more empathy. I think surrounding all this is culture. We need to build environments that are very happy, as you put here, happiness culture. Recognize them, the conversations, small moments of belonging are important, and make culture behavioral change. Make it a behavior, not a policy. I think in Africa we believe in putting everything on documents. We shouldn't do that. We just need to create an environment that allows that. I think as we have this discussion today, how do we sustain happiness? I think we need to be more caring. We need to contribute more. We need to grow our people. We need to get stronger performance by allowing more people to provide and bring out themselves better. And the call to action is that we must lead with empathy, authenticity, awareness of the human behind the role, build workplaces where people perform, and allow them to thrive. So I think, I know I'm really keen on listening to the next speakers, but I think in closing I want to say that over the years as we go through these careers, we are now realizing that we have to be very adaptive to change. And at the Nation Media Group, we are delighted to continuously engage with the society. We're happy to have our writers here like the professor here, Kagwanja, and very, very good contributor. And we want to allow you to be part and parcel of a conversation of this nation. So in the coming week, we are launching a new program called Mimim Kenya, where we're opening a door for conversation, for Kenyans to speak to each other, because we're going into a very, very interesting time. Okay? So we must open those doors. And through that program, we'll be having a lot of debates, a lot of barazas, a lot of conversations. And please, we would like you to listen to what's going on so that we build a cohesive nation even as we go through a period of elections. So in closing, I want to say that when we get this right, we do not just build profitable organizations, but we build places where people truly thrive. So asante sana, Governor, but before I go, I must make a small advertisement request. Otherwise, hii kazi yangu, my colleagues are looking at me and saying, we are working today and you're not going to make a request. So at the Nation Media Group, we have launched a new app, okay? It's called the Nation app. You can download it. And there are two offers, or what we call plans. One plan is called a premium plan. With a premium plan, it allows you to access one daily newspaper, be it The Nation, the Business Daily, the East African, or Taifa. And with that, you get an additional access to what we call our paywalls. All right? You know paywalls where you get real-time stories and you have to subscribe? And the app also gives you the rest of items free, like TV, radio, podcasts. Those are free. The second plan is called the Premium Plus. Now with Premium Plus, you get all the three daily papers for one fee. All right? Together with all the paywalls. So what we decided to do is actually to make it easier for you to access our products. So don't buy Nation, don't buy Standard. Don't buy, not Standard. Don't buy Nation. Don't buy Business Daily separately. Don't buy East African separately. You can all buy them with one price. So download it today, put it on trial. It's out there for you. And we believe that you'll continue supporting the nation because we have to build a. Thank you very much. God bless you all.